Hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Todd Glickman in the United group because I'm a global services member. I made 4 million miles back in 2019 after 10 years of making global services organically, as they say, but now global services for life, which is a very, very nice feeling. Also meteorologist for WCBS News Radio in New York City for the past 44 years on a part-time basis. I work full-time at MIT in the Boston area. And what we have upcoming is the first pretty good nor'easter that we've had in over 2 years. So while this is a typical and very average nor'easter, we don't have one to think about for the last couple of years, so it's a little bit different. What a nor'easter means is a vigorous pressure, low pressure area that comes up the east coast, and the winds predominantly come out of the northeast, which is why it's called a nor'easter. And at this time of year, it typically draws down enough cold air, especially away from the ocean, that we get winter weather, we get snow. And as typical for this kind of storm, there's very often a very sharp cutoff between rain and snow, because the water temperature is relatively mild in the 40s, but the cold air coming down from the north is in the 20s. And so that very sharp cutoff line can make the difference between an inch of rain and a foot of snow. In this particular situation, it looks like, in general, when all is said and done, most of the coastline, coastal Connecticut, Long Island, and the 5 boroughs, and the Jersey Shore will have mostly rain. There could be a little bit of snow at the beginning, a little bit of snow at the end to leave a coating, maybe an inch or so. The rain-snow line, as of this recording, appears as though it's going to be somewhere between 10 and 30 miles inland, northwest of the coast. So think of it as north and west of the Merritt Parkway or 287 as you get into New York State and northern New Jersey. And the snow amounts are going to ramp up pretty quickly as you go to the north and west of that line, where there could be accumulations in general of 6 to 12 inches. There could be some bingos, as we like to say, of more than a foot, where some heavier bands show up at some of the higher elevations. But I think a good 6 to 12 inches is going to be fairly typical when all is said and done, again, with a few places a little bit more. But again, the question is, where the metropolitan area is concerned, and a lot of people live in the 5 boroughs and the nearby suburbs, a couple, 3-4 inches is possible right in that transition zone. And now, for you frequent flyers, what does that mean for aviation, especially during the day on Sunday if you're traveling? And while snow does impact travel, especially at our very favorite airport of Newark, New Jersey, what really is the limiting factor is the visibility and the wind. Because with 2 fairly closely spaced runways, when you have low visibility or a strong wind, the capacity for takeoffs and landings is literally cut in half. And that's where the delays can really cascade at a place like Newark Airport. So sure, you have to clean the snow and the ice off the wings, the icing, but you can have a lineup of 20, 30, 40 planes or ground delays inbound of hours at a time, only because of the reduced visibility, the reduced spacing required because of the stronger winds. Same can be said for LaGuardia and Kennedy as well, which of course there aren't a whole lot of United planes going into. There are fewer into LaGuardia. And I think this is going to continue right through the day on Sunday. Now, it turns out, for those of you who are traveling the middle part of next week, there's going to be another storm, but this one almost exclusively rain and wind coming in on Wednesday. And the same thing will happen, even though there's likely to be no snow at all with that storm. Strong winds and reduced visibility will cause significant delays on Wednesday, too. Turns out I'm leaving on Thursday. I'm headed to Hong Kong, Bangkok, and Tokyo on my first international trip of the year on Thursday, so hopefully all of that will be behind us. But once again, to summarize for the storm upcoming, starting late Saturday, continuing until late on Sunday, it's mostly rain along the coast, all snow inland, a very sharp transition line, somewhere between 10 and 30 miles away from the coast, where there's going to be a quick transition from rain until snow. Happy travels, everybody.